And then so went took pictures. I made a video and posted it. Then I got invited to another place and kind of just ended up doing it.
And then you're like, I think I'm a foodie now.
No, it still took a while.
Yeah.
Because I was still in that whole, I'm still trying to feature artists and musicians.
Right.
And
No, I don't think you're ever going to leave that. I think that's,
I hope not.
I think that's still in your mind as far as like, I'm
in
always
my mind,
going to be
passion.
featuring and showcasing people at the same time doing what you're loving to do. But that's going to be, I don't think you're ever going to escape that.
in my mind, no. But like we were talking about is once you get stuck in a niche, you're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
So as much as once I became Life with Erns, it was supposed to be broader. The more, it's still food. Not that I mind, and I love food. And it wasn't. And it was just the when you meet chefs and cooks and restaurant owners, they talk with so much passion about what they're making and the effect that they have on people, and they want to share. They're artists.
Oh yeah,
they are. So that was like I'm still doing what I want to do.
Yeah. Welcome to the podcast. Might talk a little shit, get a little brash. Might drink a little bit, smoke a little bit, vibe a little bit, laugh a little bit. Yeah. Hosted by Fidel. Tell it like it is, only tell it real. Live every Tuesday, you know the deal.
What's up, everybody? This is Fidel Talking Again podcast. I am here, your host for the
And I'm your co-host.
The co-host, the special co-host. Yeah. Amaris, you guys all know her on Instagram, Amaris B, with 2 E's. And to her left, we have the ghost. He's a ghost sometimes, but he's the guest.
You just see his hands sometimes in videos.
Is Erns Valdez. It's also Life with Erns, right?
Life with Erns, yeah.
I love that, dude, because it's like it's life with Erns, so it's like you get to see what you're all about on your Instagram.
That was the idea.
I like that because I feel like what I hate about my Instagram is it's geared towards my career, and I feel like I have a hard time posting like other stuff, or like people don't want to see the other stuff, and you have the ability to post everything. And
that wasn't the original name. All this started with a gallery called Loft Beats, which I didn't name. It was the name of a show. I suck at naming things. So I was stuck with the name Loft Beats, and as I got into doing other things, the name made no sense. Opened another gallery called the Erns Lab Project.
Yeah.
There was no lab. There was no project. It made no sense. And actually,
Did you come up with that name, Erns Lab Project?
I did, but things had changed, and I was on Instagram as a foodie.
Yeah.
As the Erns Lab Project, it made no sense. So when Life with Erns, when I wanted to rebrand myself and get away from food, I was like, okay. And I just put on Instagram or Facebook, like, hey, I need a name for my new whatever. I remember my rebranding, and one of my friends like Life with Erns. I'm like,
oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That was it, perfect, because it was like you said, it's just everything that is. This is my life.
Yeah.
I think I'm really good at coming up with names, but I like your name.
Thank you. Well,
yeah.
Thank you, my friend who.
Is it someone who knows you really well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have to ask him where he got the name.
Sometimes they just come to you. Like this name for this show right here was my wife. Well, she didn't even come up with the name. She just asked a question of, man, we need to start talking again. Because there was a time where I stopped doing the podcast, my old one, and then I started this one, right? There's a gap in between. And then, I'll be at home just sitting around, and she's like, when are you going to start talking again? And then I go, you know what? You're right. I'll do my own podcast. So I'm sitting there trying to think of names.
Yeah.
And then I wrote Talking Again. And I just kept writing it, and then Talking Again podcast, TAP, it's the bar, the tap. And it just kind of like, fuck, I got to do it.
That's so perfect.
So I'm really good at thinking of names, like I guess for myself, because my mobile bartending business is the Bartender Babe, which I kind of was thinking of switching my TikTok to the Bartender Babe. And then my Michelada line is the Michi Queen.
That's a good one. I can't believe that's not taken.
It is on Instagram. That's why Michi Queen LLC.
Even better.
But she's not an LLC.
You're official.
You're official.
She's not an LLC yet.
Yeah. So then you have the Michi Queen LLC. Like that's without the LLC, you have the Michi Queen.
And you can shut her down.
Yeah, that's right. You could.
It's just her Instagram name. She's not an LLC.
Would you pay, or would you demand to get it? Or would you pay?
I'll just leave her alone. Why can't I just leave her alone?
Because, man, you need that name.
I am coming out with like candies, and like all these people have like cool names for their candies, like the Toxicas, or like they have cool names. And I'm really good at thinking of names for myself, and like I can't think of candy names.
Oh no!
So I'll have to hit you guys up.
I'll have to hit up my friend.
Yeah.
So, Erns, you said that you had a gallery.
Yes.
you named it off of a show that you were hosting for that show, and that's when you just kind of stuck with that name.
Yeah, it was. How did it even start? So I got opened a gallery. It was just going to be me, my artwork, and I had some friends like, hey, we'll throw all our artwork up.
Yeah.
And some of them were like DJs on the weekends. Like, hey, we'll spin at your show.
Mm-hmm.
So we're sitting around, the 5 of us or however many, and it wasn't even a gallery yet. It was just my studio. And the name of the show, what are we gonna call the show? What are we gonna call it? Oh, it's a loft. We got beats. It's Loft Beats.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Nice.
So the next month came, time for another show. I was like, well, we'll just call it Loft Beats again, people. And it kind of stuck. So when it came time to get the business license, which I had to have to be there, I couldn't think of a name. Actually, there was a name, and I won't say it. But
Ooh, wait, are you not gonna say it because you might use it again?
no.
Oh.
Well, it was called Earn Shit.
Earn Shit.
Well, if you spell it out, it would have been Earns Hit.
Earns,
But it would have been
yeah, I like it.
earnshit.com. It was like, but it was just
That's
Earns
creative.
Hit.
Earns Hit.
Earns Hit.
Spelled out is Earn Shit. That's my
Did you do
shit.
that on
I like
purpose?
it.
Can I cuss?
You can
Okay.
cuss.
Yeah,
You can cuss.
I accidentally cussed and I was like, can I do that?
Yeah,
And
you
I was
can
like,
do that,
yes.
yeah.
So it was
I like
childish,
that.
and I didn't.
I like
it was-
that.
Yeah, it is. I get it because I still have a email that it's Yalo Puse. Right? So if you, okay, but
So when you send to the schools and like your parents,
yeah, I can't. I want to get rid of it, but no one has Yalo Puse.
I think it's a good one.
There's a
Yeah,
reason
so I'm
why.
not gonna keep it.
You
Yeah,
know what's
no.
funny is like sometimes because Galopus is your other Instagram, right?
No, what?
Wait, don't you have another Instagram
Yeah,
besides Talking Again?
yeah.
When you when
it
you
does say Yalo Puse. I need to change it. Thanks for reminding me. I need to change it.
When you watch my stuff from your other Instagram, I'm always like, who is this person always looking at my Instagram stories? Because I look
Yeah.
and I forget because like he looks at me from his Talking Again podcast, but
It
every
just
once in
sounds
a while,
weird when you say he looks at me. What,
or like watches my stuff from your
research?
Talking
Yeah.
Again
Stalker
podcast,
account.
and then like every once in a while I see Yalo Puse come
Yeah.
up, and I'm like, who the heck is this girl?
gotta change
And I
it.
think it's like one of the truckers, like
Oh,
because you know how like I have a
see?
lot of trucker followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm sorry.
I noticed I
cut
lost a
you
lot.
off.
I lost a lot of my trucker followers.
Did you really?
They didn't like my content anymore.
Really?
I'm kidding.
You know what?
'Cause they,
She
like,
called them
see
out
the
one time, bro.
trucks.
She said that they called her
They
lot
called me a
lizard.
lizard liquor.
Oh
No, lot lizard.
Or what was it?
No.
Yeah,
And then
lot
she
lizard.
got upset.
I
and
didn't
she
know what that
But she
was.
know what it was.
I googled it.
And then yeah.
Because you think it sounds, that sounds cool. I'm a
Lot
lot lizard.
No, I didn't think it was cool because everyone was like commenting on it, and then I was just like, "What the heck is that?"
Meanwhile, she's never even been in a lot. You know,
Yeah. Where have you?
What's considered a lot?
The truck stops.
truck stops.
Oh, yeah. No, I
There's-
haven't.
the truckers have groupies. They go to truck stops and they hang out, and then that's where they do their, you know. So
Is that what you tell your kids?
From what I heard,
Is that
From
what
what
you
I
tell
hear.
your kids?
that's from what I
Me and
hear.
your mom were gonna.
my dad was a trucker.
Your dad was a trucker.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, not all truckers. Not all truckers.
I don't think he was one of those kind of
Yeah,
truckers.
my dad, yeah. No, my dad was local. He didn't. He was
Yeah,
a
yeah.
trucker too, but he was local. He didn't.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
never went long haul.
But that was
Yeah.
you never
I
know.
didn't know what
Yeah.
that was though.
But now you know.
Yeah, no, I learned.
And then you lost your following.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
crazy.
because I used to do a lot of things at El Troquero,
Mhm.
and we used to have events, but like COVID took away our events. We used to go to like car shows. That's how I met Pilar.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Was through El
See, I'm getting
Troquero.
your guys' history. Now I get to know
Yeah.
about your.
Oh, I
your
know,
guys'
right?
stuff.
We're supposed to be
Interviewing
interviewing
you
So
guys,
you
so
never
tell me
knew
more.
Erns before?
No,
I told you
the
about
first
him?
time I met Erns was at that show, that video shoot for Mireya, right?
Mhm.
That was the first time I ever met you, and it was just
It was
like,
brief. It was.
hey, what's up? How you doing? You know, cleaning of the cups for the michis
Mhm.
that we're drinking, and then that's it. And after that, it just kind of like by your page and your content, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, dude. You know, get to see life with Erns, you know.
And you know what's
And
funny
then
is
she's like, yeah, he's so cool, and I'm like, man, I want to get him on the show.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
ask him. I'm like, he's reachable like that?
yeah, he was all like, oh, I don't think so. I was like, yeah, just hit him up. Like the worst someone can tell you is no.
That's true.
But you know what's funny is when I met Erns, you were very quiet.
Yeah, I'm shy. I don't like talking to people.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm
Because
not
on
a
your
very
Instagram, you're very like forward.
It's
and
all editing. It's just me and my
True.
camera.
Yeah.
And then that took a while too. That was the hard thing too because when I did my own little podcast thing, or I had to drink a lot to get in front of a camera. That was-
Liquid courage.
yeah, and even having the galleries and doing all this stuff, like I would always have somebody else go talk to the camera people. I hated it. And then I got used to it.
Yeah.
But even in social situations, like I don't like talking to people. I love wearing masks, that we have to wear masks. I feel so comfortable that people aren't gonna. I have my
Really?
headphones in, so people don't try to talk to me. I'm shy. Like
Yeah.
I don't like making eye contact, and like
Really?
Yeah, he's
I'm shy too, though, but I'm very like, I like to sit back and watch people and observe them before I come out.
But we talked. You were cool. I think that was one thing. Like when we met that day, I was like, "Oh, she's cool."
I was on energy drinks.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Oh."
Because remember, I came from another job that
Mhm.
day.
Yeah.
I came from another job
That
with Gus
somebody else-
Mejia.
yeah.
Oh, so that day I met him, but he didn't know who I had worked with in the
Yeah.
morning.
No.
But I had shot with a really good photographer named Gus Mejia.
One of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, we keep trying to do another shoot, and then I haven't reached out to him in a long time, and then it's just life's busy.
Yeah.
But I had shot with Gus Mejia in the morning, and then I went to the Mr. Michelada thing in the daytime, and then I went to one more job at night.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I had to go shoot with Gus. I think I shot with Gus the day before, or I was going to.
Yes.
That, there was something where I was like, "Oh, you just saw him. I'm gonna go see
Yeah,
him."
because he had added me, Erns added me on Instagram at the event, and then he messaged me that night, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I had shot with Gus like the day before at the LA River, right?"
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Gus is the one that messaged me. It's like, "Oh, Amaris." I'm like, I literally just met her.
Yeah.
I think he's so cool too.
Oh, he's amazing.
That was
He's
like-
another person we
That
should
was
bring
like
on.
Oh my gosh,
Gus
you gotta have
Mejia.
him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's
Have
it.
you seen his work?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he does a lot of the how do you describe it?
The Day of the Dead.
Yeah,
Art.
like
Oh, okay.
skull,
Yeah.
really, really
Yeah,
cool
his stuff
stuff.
is, and he's one of those too. I was like, I didn't want to approach him, and I just liked his stuff, and then he approached me. I think he's the one that, hey, you ever want to come with us? Or
Yeah.
yeah, okay. It turned out to be one of those cool dudes. Watching him work, and I would ask him, hey, what settings are you using? What camera? And he would tell me everything.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think a couple months ago, I sat down with him and interviewed him because we were talking, and he was just telling me how he got into what he does, and
Mhm.
yeah, he's just one of those people who does really inspirational work. And then on top of that, will tell you how he's doing his work, which is really rare for
Yeah,
photographers
yeah.
of that caliber.
Any person, I feel like now, because people are so secretive about what they
Yeah.
do, very
That's horrible.
often now.
Yeah, you gotta kind of share that knowledge that you have and pass it over to the next guy, because they might do something different with it. Same knowledge, but
Yeah.
a little different. Or
Mhm.
add their own twist to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen so many people, artists, because I think I know my limitations. I knew my art would only go so far. But I've watched so many people go beyond that. It's always nice to be there and grow with them and just watch them keep going. And then like, okay, I'm cool here.
Yeah.
Same thing with anything. It's always that like, oh, cool. I
Mhm.
reached my comfort level. I might go this way. I might go different ways, but it's always cool to, just pass on the info and let
Mhm.
people run with it.
Yeah.
So do you interview a lot of people?
No, I want to though. That was the thing. That was having the gallery and moving over to doing videos. Was I wanted to feature artists, and I want to interview you.
Yeah.
I was taking behind the scenes video because I want to use that footage and talk to you and get audio of you talking about what you do and how you got started. And
Yeah.
because featuring restaurants and businesses is awesome, but there's the creators who really need the attention.
Yeah.
Because there's no money in it. Exposure doesn't pay the bills. So it's one of those to give back and to help others. And, yeah.
Some people are just interesting too. Like, you see a person in a picture on Instagram, and then you don't realize behind that Instagram that someone's so wholesome or like does so much more than that.
Yeah.
But what I like about your Instagram is that I feel like you show a lot of that in yourself. I feel like
you
you
see
show.
what I want you to see.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
we all do. We all have control of what we post.
Yeah. No, I try to be as real as I can. Try to show as much as I can. And there's others that I watch and I envy because they're like they put everything out there. I was like, oh no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I got a family. I got there's certain things. And my wife, people don't even know I'm married. I
Yeah.
have to remember to wear my ring, but because she doesn't like social media at all, she will not be on it. So there's things I can, and then having kids on there, that was the other issue. Like do I really share my kids, or you don't know who's seeing it. So I started a whole nother dad life with Erns page. And
I actually really like I don't know if you've seen, but he does a lot of things with his daughters. So like his videos, he'll do like with Northgate stuff, he'll do them with his daughters. And I think I've told you before, I love seeing that you do that with your kids.
Yeah. Well, they're a big part of it. And that was the thing. I didn't want to force them because they watch YouTube and can we get our YouTube channel? Yeah, of course.
Aww.
But they don't want to put the work in.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned to me in the past too that you said that your dad was I don't know if you want to put this in here, but I think you had said that your dad didn't really do that stuff with you, so you wanted to do it with your daughters. I think you had told me that. I'm not sure.
There's a lot of stuff that I think because we have the technology and maybe because I don't have the memory of all these great. I know we did great stuff together.
Yeah.
And Dad, you're awesome, but No, like there's things.
Spending time too.
Yeah.
If your dad was a full-time worker, because both of my parents were
Oh, yeah.
teachers.
Well, I mean, your dad was a truck driver, so
Yeah, he
my,
worked
just
nights.
like
A lot of
mine. My
hours.
dad worked those long nights, and he
Yeah.
did as much
Sleep
as he
all day.
could to like hang out with us and do things and take us to the park, especially weekends, right? Take us
Mm-hmm.
to the park and all that. But I get what she's saying is like there's a lot of the day and day things that my mom had to kind of like after
Oh,
school,
yeah.
like it was all my mom until he got home. Because even when he got home, it was like he's got to eat, and then he's got to rest, work on his book,
sleeps all day,
and then sleep, and then
Yeah.
go back to work.
Well, for
That's-
me, both my parents were teachers when I was younger, so I was the first one taken to school and the last one picked up
Oh,
because I had to wait for my parents to be finished taking care of other people's kids,
Mhm.
and then so I feel like I missed out on a lot of things. Like you know how when they have the like what is it when your parents go with their kids to school for lunch?
or like
Like, do you know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
my
yeah.
parents couldn't come; they're teachers. Like, so like all the kids would be with their parents, and like my parents missed out on a lot of that stuff. And like I have like growing up, like, and even sometimes I still think like I had a lot of like, what is it called?
Resentment?
Like resentment towards that. But I didn't understand, and now that
Yeah.
I've gone through life and I've had to work and I moved out and I had to take care of myself, and like I don't even have kids, but imagine I had kids, like I would have been just like my parents.
See, that's awesome that you even think like that.
yeah.
And that's like kind of going back to how I grew up. Yeah, being a stay-at-home dad, like when everything had happened in my life where I had no job and I had nothing, it was like the weirdest feeling. But then being home with my kids all day was, you cannot take that away. That is just something. It's it's the best job I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And being there every day, taking them to school, as much as I hate it, as much as I hate sitting in that stupid line. Oh. But yeah, being there, I wouldn't do anything different.
Yeah.
So having them in the videos, the big thing too was because I don't have a strong connection to my culture. I didn't have a lot of that. So doing the Northgate Market promos, doing all this stuff was making me like, oh, cool, I'm doing it. I know how to make tortillas and all that stuff,
Yeah.
but to do it with my kids, it was like, oh, we have it, we're doing it together, and then we have it on video.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, we can go, like I can look back on this and like, I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they can look back at it and like, oh, that's my dad. But
just
no.
most recently, you guys had the cutting the rosca, right? And you guys had that from
Mhm.
Northgate.
Yeah.
You know, and that was pretty cool.
I
just
loved
that
watching
with your
you
kids.
make the altar with your kids, because when I was little, we used to make the altar with my parents.
We never did that. And that was
No, we never did.
I feel
either.
like I missed out because we had so much fun doing it. And the girls, and then it would just, we looked everything up online. We asked other people. And when we sat there and did it, it was fun. So there's like, oh, when can we do this again? I'm like, well, next year. There's a whole thing. You had to go through so it's been just doing what I do now. It's just been, and Gus Mejia, all these, being exposed to all these different people. I'm not from Southern California.
Oh, you're not.
No.
Where are you from?
I'm from Fresno
Oh,
originally. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so being down here, it's
When did you come out here? When you started doing the artist thing?
No, let me see. How did that even come about? Another long story.
I feel like Erns has
Was it
like
like-
so much to his life that
I do.
I don't
There's a
know.
lot.
Life with Erns. I mean, he needs a part two.
Yeah.
Life with Erns.
Everything that you
It's
guys
okay, I had
know
a part
about me,
two.
everything you know about me is only from the past 10 years. So it all comes about. I moved here from Vegas.
By yourself?
Well, I met this girl in Vegas who was
Mm-hmm.
from here, and we started dating. So I was coming out every weekend, and then I just ended up moving out here
Mm-hmm.
because we'd go to the art walk in Pomona,
Mhm.
and you'd see the artist, and like, oh, I could do that. I can do that. You should do it. And then how things worked out, I just moved out here, and I did it.
Yeah.
So when you moved out here, were you totally by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was a whole nother.
What was your first job when you came out here?
I had no job. I
Oh,
came
No
out with
job.
I had left a job, so I was homeless for a little bit, living out of my car, and I lived. She's my wife now, but I lived in her boss's pool house for a little bit.
damn.
Then I lived at work for a little bit. Then I got a place in Pomona off Holt, and then
Is that how you know Elvis?
Well, then when I got the loft, and then I got a job with working with the state again, and then when I got that loft in Pomona, started working at the Fox, started doing the gallery,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had met Elvis, amazing bartender.
I feel like so many people know Elvis. Like I post Elvis, and
Yeah.
the most random people are like, "You know Elvis?" I'm like, "How do you know Elvis?" So like the bar days, like everyone tells you like, you know, the bar days.
Yeah, it's in that industry knows everybody.
And it's so funny because I was with Jay Valentino recently, and he FaceTimed me, and Jay Valentino is sitting next to me. He's like, "Hey, I know you from." I don't want to say where he knows him from, but he knows him from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, "How do you guys know each other?" They're like, "Oh, the bar days." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a really small world. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
Like we knew each other through other people. We would have met through other people. And it was
Yeah.
just, It's been great. It's been great getting around. And
It's
then
like it's
the
like
whole
the
life with Erns was that. It's like, oh, it's not just I don't want it to be just the restaurants. I want to feature you guys too. It's got to be, there's a big world of amazing people out there that do amazing things. And that's written, I think, on my website. And that's still like my main focus was showing all the great people around me.
Yeah.
And
Well, we have the technology to do that, you know, to be able to do that with, like, you got Driscoll Kid that's talking people live on his Instagram every night, you know, like we have right now the technology to do all of that. You know, we can do it, and not so much the technology, but everybody's just willing to talk more now. I think things are a lot less taboo, you know.
Oh yeah,
where people are starting to share more. You're still gonna get people that don't want to share trade, you know, tricks of the trade or whatever, but you know, why not? You know, it's a little.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there anything because you brought up my personal life? I'm like, no, I don't. No, I'll share it. Like, I don't think I have anything really to hide.
Yeah.
No. And then as far as what I do, the trade, there's like, I barely know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, because I'm still asking you, you're constantly learning. It never ends, the learning. So,
but there might be somebody that has learned a certain way how to do photography, just this one way, and then you're over here like fucking doing it. Not to say bushwhack, but just like doing it your own freestyle way of doing it. You might teach someone that knows how to do exactly you know.
I've seen people that I look up to and then see them working, like, oh, that's how you do it? Like, oh, dang, that's what you work with? And they're like, yeah, this is how I'm self-taught. Or even those that have gone to school for it and they're like, no, this is how I do it. And I'm just in my process. I'm like, everybody creates differently. And that's what's
I feel
amazing.
like you learn by doing too.
Me personally, yeah.
Even like a lot of stuff recently, because I was very like, both of my parents are teachers. So I was very taught like, you have to go to school to learn things.
Yeah.
And then once I like started living on my own, I was like, oh, like this is a whole new world. Yeah.
My parents lied to me. No.
Everybody I know that's gone to art school or done anything through school, they hate what they do, or it sways them away, or they do things in such a way that where they can't expand, or you know, some people, not everybody, but that's just what I've noticed was when people go to school for some things, some people aren't meant for school learning. You know,
and that's exactly kind of what happened.
They kill your creativity. I've seen it in so many artists. I can look at somebody's artwork and I can tell, oh, you went to this school, you're in this year.
Oh, wow.
This is your project you're doing. Because I've seen I've hung thousands of pieces of art. I have shown, I don't know how many thousands of artists, and I've hosted hundreds of art shows. And you see it as they go to school and then they graduate and they stop doing art. And that's the one thing that kills me the most. When somebody puts so much work into their passion and they stop.
I think because you fall out of love with it.
Mm-hmm. I have. I've been through that.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for you, when did that happen? Where you were, you know, you're doing the art thing. Is this something that you have always done, like in high school and all that, like drawing?
Yeah. Well, I grew up doing graffiti and tagging in high school, and then as I got into the military, I still did it. I had my notebooks. It's how you pass time. And then when I had gotten out of the military, I tried to get back into it. In Fresno, there wasn't really like a really big art scene, and it was very like they didn't want to let anybody into it. It wasn't like an open thing. So when I came down to Pomona, it was like, oh yeah, and you want to show here? This is what you do. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's my favorite thing about LA area, kind of, or like just California in general, because I feel like there's just so many opportunities. Like you like something, like you can get into it.
It's a melting pot of everything.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. Not being from here, it was like now that I came down here, like, oh, my art really got to come out. I got to do it.
Yeah.
Connecting with my culture, connecting with just say myself or my history and my heritage. It's been amazing coming down here.
Yeah.
So the past 10 years, it's just been working. I'm doing this now. Oh, I'm gonna do that now, and I could do it.
I feel like we can branch off into so many places, and then it's like how I started off just as modeling, or I was a waitress, and then I started off as modeling. But my modeling took me so many places because I met people like you. I met people like you. Like I'm talking now, like I'm doing a podcast
ring
now.
Girl, she was a ring girl. She did that.
Yeah,
you know, that's pretty crazy.
I've been like, it's just like life has expanded me here, and I feel like I can never leave this area because, you know, like I just like there's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
Well, then there's room to do more. There's so much more.
There's always you can like spread out into like look at me. I'm starting Micheladas now.
Oh.
And like
you're always gonna change.
Yeah.
You're gonna evolve. It's gonna be that one thing, or you can always go back to something.
Life is just adjustments, right? We have to adjust to everything.
Yeah.
If we don't, we get left behind. You know, all we see is smoke because that's all we have to do, right?
Yeah. What's that saying? You know, if you're not evolving, you're
not growing.
I don't know the saying. Is that what it is?
There's
I don't know.
that,
I just say like if you're a different person than you were last year, you're growing. But if you're the same person, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at following motivational speakers and the posts, and I've done video work for guys that do the podcasts and the videos, And they're like, hey, how come you don't ever follow me for my Motivation Mondays? And I'm like, dude, like I'm too busy to get motivated. Like I'm already motivated. Like, yeah, it is. You're constantly busy. You're hustling. But being your own boss, that's what it's like. It's like
so you have control of your whole schedule through and through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's probably the goal. That's the main goal, is to have your own control, 100% control of your schedule, right?
Well, having a busy schedule is the goal, because when it's dead, like, whoa, it gets scary.
I'm in my dead months right now, and it's been a little scary. It picks up back in February. March,
why is it dead
usually.
months right now? Is it because of the wintertime? It's too cold?
It's just, it does great until about New Year's, and then it's just dead until about, I don't know, it's just like that every year. But it didn't used to affect me because I was working in the restaurants pre-COVID.
Right. Yeah, right.
And so like holidays were always like my high time. And then, so I never noticed it modeling wise. And then now that I'm like full-time modeling, it's like I notice it now.
You'll learn to save.
Yeah. Well, I've always been a saver. So
I never was until last year.
Really? Even when you were younger?
No. You had always had that check. So I was like, oh, check's coming. Oh, cool.
I used to save 50% of whatever I got paid.
Oh, I wish I would have done that.
That's why I don't need investors for my business. Yeah.
Because everything now is like, oh, how much can I put into my retirement, or how much,
Oh, my problem is I haven't done that yet.
But you're young.
Yeah.
I'm 27.
Do it now.
But imagine if she was doing it now. That's a head start on everybody else.
That's a huge head start.
Yeah, that should be the next step. You guys remind me soon when everything is okay again.
Well, that's the big thing now, because I do get job offers. Yeah. Hey, can you come run our media department or this and that? And it's like, well, what are your benefits? Tell me about the retirement. Tell me about, and it's like, why would that even be the first thing? It should be, whatever the benefits. But
what's my schedule like?
Yeah, it's been a long growing. Took me a couple of years to grow where I am comfortable, or even I told my wife, like, hey, I got this job offer. I'm gonna full time, but I'm gonna be working in LA. I'm gonna be gone 10 hours a day plus the drive.
Yeah.
Plus the it's gonna cover everything. But she's like, well, do you have to do it? Aren't you making enough already? I'm like, I'm doing all right. She's like, well, if you don't want to, don't do it. I'm like, oh, we're there. We're at that point where
that's good. That's a good feeling.
And then comes January, the slow month. I'm like, oh, hey, remember like when I said?
Okay, so it isn't just me that's slow right now.
No, not at all.
I've been in like a panic recently. Well, that's why I started the business, because just nothing's going on. So
and then you have different things going on too.
Yeah, but once it hits summer, it's like 7 days a week. I'm sure it's the same for you. I feel like a lot of people's money is like popping in the summer or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm in automotive, and these are the slowest months is also, November, December, January.
And those are the months where you'll see me do a lot of my own stuff too.
Yeah.
That's the time where like you've got to stay busy. Just because I don't have anything paid, okay, time to bust out my content, because that's how I get other stuff to do.
People are always telling me like, oh, you're so busy, and it's because if I have a day off, I'm doing something like a podcast, or I'm doing something to better myself every day. Like I'm thinking like, okay, what can I do that's going to benefit me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your biggest advice that you would give yourself, your younger self? If you were like my age again, 27.
Where was I in 27?
Were you married? How old were you when you were married? That's my question too.
The first time.
Oh, you've been married twice?
Yeah. Well, I got married. I was in the military when I got out of the high school. Went straight to the military, and then like everybody, usually you get married
during or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the benefits, how they say like, oh, it's for the.
Well, yeah.
You get so many breaks and
get
stuff.
To live off base. You get to it was great. But 27.
So that's yours now. Your filter.
I think it just don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to have kids. Like that was the biggest. The
At
best
27.
thing. I didn't have my first kid till I was 38.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Better.
Yeah, and it's like I'm so glad I waited. Don't be in a rush to do too much at once. There's no time limit on your life. It's like you can still be 50 years old and start modeling or whatever is.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of posts on Instagram about that lately, where like they're like, I'm 55 and I did my first squat, like my first back squat, like,
nice.
Or I'm 16 and I decided to go back to school.
Yeah.
And like, so I guess I forget that a lot, that people are always like, you still have so much to do. Because I feel like I tell you too, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have a boyfriend. Like, I'm not married yet. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm almost 30. Like, that's why I think like, okay, I have to stop modeling soon.
Yeah, no,
your 30s are actually your best years. To me. 30. I think we just told you, like, after about 36 or 38, I perpetually feel 36 or 38. I don't feel that I'm 45. So going back, what would I tell my 27-year-old self? Like, just don't be in a rush to settle down. Don't be in a rush to, you're not on any timeline. Do what comes naturally. Do what's good for you. Just develop as a person. before you do any of that stuff.
Mhm.
Because that's once you lock down a family, once you lock down that business at 26, then it's like, oh, that is your life. That's it. Like everything else is gonna get pushed aside one way or the other. So just don't be in a rush.
Everyone's gonna see it a different way. Like at when you get married and you do get, you know, situated like that, and you have kids, like everything that you do revolves around them. Every decision that you make, it's for them. It's no longer for you. Like yours, you know, depending on how many kids you have, you're third, fourth in line, you know?
Yeah.
So some people might like that. But if you have a goal and your goal is like that business that you want, maybe right now, not to say that they're a distraction, because I would never say that, you know, your family like that should be a distraction. Those are a terrible choice of words, but it is
You
it's
can't
gonna,
make yourself a priority anymore.
you definitely can't. You can't. There's
Yeah,
no
because
way
now
you can.
I can get up
Unless
and
you're
leave
a
whenever I
douchebag.
want.
So I'm
Did you
sorry.
say douchebag?
I think we talked over each other. I said, unless you're a douchebag. What did you say?
Oh, I can just get up and leave whenever I want.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah.
selfish right now, and I love it.
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah. I don't think I even want a relationship for a while because I'm just so selfish right now. And just
There's nothing wrong
I
with
enjoy
that.
it.
There is nothing
Yeah, I
wrong with that.
enjoy
What's
it.
being selfish when you're by yourself?
Yeah.
exactly. I love it. I'm like, I absolutely love it.
You're not being selfish. You're just taking care of your own
Yeah.
needs.
Yeah.
Well, as long as I'm paying my own bill, because my family got mad that I was still working during like coronavirus,
Mm-hmm.
and then my sister she said, I don't want you around my kids right now, but I respect that. She's like, I respect what you're doing and you're paying your bills.
I have the issue with my stepdaughter where I told her, because she wants to go out and party. She's 19, or not party, but whatever she wants to go do with her boyfriend. And it's like, if you're going out and she's starting to do nails now. And so if you're going out to make money, cool, go make that money. Because I'm out here getting my money. The only time I leave the house is to make money, or it's to me, this is networking. This is work.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun though. But
Fun networking.
yeah, but it's like, no, it's that same thing where I see people out there posting like they're at parties and everything else, like, nah, not cool.
Yeah.
But if you're out there making money, you
Yeah.
can't hate on that. It's especially if
But
you're-
it's hard because, like, music video wise, sometimes it looks like it's a party. So, like, I
Is it
think
not?
Instagram makes it seem a different way
Yeah.
than what it actually is.
What is it? I don't
Well,
know.
because, like, some of the sets I take a coronavirus test before I even enter.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they give us instant ones in our cars, or you have to go to in the morning. Like, you go to the coronavirus test, you get there like at 8 a.m. and you take your test, and you wait like 15 minutes, and then you go to set.
That's
Once you
awesome.
get your positive test, or negative, positive. My bad.
No, I think a lot of filming, that's kind of where they're at now, right? Like that's like
Yeah, it's because
protocol. You know?
filming's an essential business still.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do you
an
guys, you
essential
guys,
business
you
still.
test yourself when you go over there? No.
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
I had to get my prostate checked. I had to go do that.
Oh, I saw
yeah?
that. He
I-
posted his whole thing.
I posted everything
You
on my
posted
stories,
the-
and then I took video. Not the process.
Okay.
But
I'll say because I gotta go watch it.
it was one of those things as I want to share life with Erns.
Yeah.
It was one of those real things where I had to go get it done. And I was thinking, like, I want to share this with people. Like, because as guys, it's one of those macho things, like, we don't, talk, about that.
Yeah.
But really, like, I ain't got nothing to hide. It's one of those things, like, I want people to know it's not a big deal. It is, but it's not.
I mean, it is for your health, right?
Yeah. Especially as you get older.
Yeah.
And most of my followers, I'm older than my demographic, which is funny. But it turns out a lot of women have to get it done. Young ladies
Yeah.
have to get it done. So I was getting more DMs from women saying, "Oh, I just had it done," and blah blah blah. I'm like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah, my grandma died from prostate cancer, so I have to get tested earlier.
yeah."
Oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a big deal. It's just it's scary. The scary part of
Yeah, but
not
no
having
one
it.
talks about it. Like, my family doesn't talk about it,
No.
but they say I should get it done. But you know, it's funny is when I was 22, I got a really bad kidney infection that went viral through my body,
Oh no.
and it started because I had a UTI, and my family is very religious, and we don't talk about like sex at home
Mm-hmm.
or like anything like personal, if you know what I mean. So they never taught me what a UTI was, so I had it and I didn't know.
And if you got it, it's for dirty reasons.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
And I was a waitress, so I would hold going to the bathroom a lot. So I didn't
there you
know
go.
what it was, and I didn't know what it was. And then by the time I went to the doctors for it, because I didn't understand,
Mhm.
and I was 22. And so by the time I went to the doctors for it, they're like, "Oh, you have a UTI." And then, but the UTI felt way worse than, like, I didn't know what it was. I never had it before.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's like, I had no idea. By then I was keeled over a counter and I didn't sleep for like 2 days. And everyone's like, "But you just have a UTI." Well, it had turned into a kidney infection that went viral through my whole body. And I was in the hospital for a long time.
Holy cow.
Went home
Could've
with
been
a
a lot
PICC line.
worse.
I went home with a PICC line, but no one had no one talks about UTIs. No one talks about
It's
it. It
embarrassing.
doesn't. Yeah, and men. And the doctors even told me it's very common in men as well. It's common
Is
in
it?
certain occupations.
Yeah, we know because we'll drink a lot and we have to hold our pee. No, like no one says like I gotta go use the restroom. Like we just work
or little
through
kids
it, you know?
too, because little
Yeah.
kids can get it from the
I-
bathtub.
Yeah,
wow.
I used to hold it in a lot, man. I never really had a UTI, but that I could remember. Maybe when
But
I
they
was a
say
kid.
like certain professions get it more too, because
Yeah, you
like
think
teachers, because they
holding it in.
can't.
Oh, my wife. Yeah.
Your
She's
wife's a teacher?
She's a teacher. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't want to be on social media.
Yeah. Well,
Smart.
I was starting to be a teacher,
Yeah,
and then
That's
I
why-
chose the model life.
Yeah. You
can't have the booty out there like
delete
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Well, the kids look for you, and that was her big thing because I was hosting concerts that the kids were going to.
Yeah.
So it was like,
shit.
yeah. So it was like,
So
she
she
would
was-
see
she was,
the kids at the,
She's teaching at a higher level, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So it was just like, oh, that was a big thing when I started doing this was because I would post a picture of me drinking a scotch, you know, and I'd post every day at noon. And then I'd get family members calling my wife or calling my in-laws. It would then talk to my wife like, why is Ernie drinking? My name is actually Ernie. Why is Ernie drinking scotch all day? Isn't he supposed to be watching the girls? And I would have to explain. She'd get mad at me. I'm like, no, like I'm just posting. That's not what I'm actually doing.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like my
I
TikTok
did that in the
drinks.
breakfast
I throw them
morning.
out.
I did that for breakfast.
You're like, not right now.
Just to get the day started.
No, my TikTok drinks I throw away. You think I'm making 5 drinks in one night? There's no way I could drink 5 drinks.
yeah.
Yeah, everyone's
Oh,
like, what do you do with your drinks? Like, throw them down the sink.
Yeah. Oh,
You
don't say
could.
that out loud.
I do.
Oh man.
No, I'm the same way. If you don't see me actually drinking
Ern said it too. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only
all the
one.
michelada stuff. I think the one that one I really liked. The one I made it and I drank it and then I took a sip and then went down the drain because I'm done. I got to go do
Yeah.
the next shoot or
Yeah.
For the food industry has, you know how no one's eating out. Right now, do you see more of a demand where like let's just get as much content as we can out there so that when we do reopen, let's just explore on it, or how's that working for you right now?
No, I have to motivate the restaurants to think ahead
Oh yeah.
because a lot of them are already stressed out already. Even when things are good, they're not thinking ahead. A lot of them just think about right now. And so what I do as far as creating content for myself or if I'm creating content for them, I always try to get them to think 3 months in advance. Like we're already,
That's smart.
you should already be thinking about summertime.
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo. You should already think about Independence Day. So always thinking ahead of time. Let's create that content now because what ends up happening, like I keep looking at that schedule, that calendar, and it's always I get booked for everything the week of.
Yeah.
I do too. Like day of sometimes,
Day of,
hour
weekday.
of.
Oh,
Yeah.
what are you doing Tuesday? Can you come through? I'm like, yeah. Then I'll give you special rates if you book 2 weeks out.
Yeah.
At least 2 weeks out. Like,
Yeah,
oh, cool.
I never, as the model too, like music videos, I never get booked ahead of time. It's always day of, night before.
Yeah.
Very rarely is it like in that month.
Yeah. And that's where it gets scary. Like you're like, oh, it's a dead week, and then like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's hard because I can't, I'm sure you feel the same way because I don't know. It was hard to have like a schedule or plan things with people because sometimes I had to choose my money over, and it was hard for a lot of my friends to understand because we'd have plans to go get drinks. And if a job called me and I had just started modeling, I couldn't reject a job, or sometimes I live with myself. I had bills to pay.
Yeah.
And I had to say, I'm sorry, I can't hang out with you because I have to go to work, and people get butthurt about it.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
And they don't understand, like, I got bills to pay.
It's been, I think my wife she's super supportive of what I do now, but it goes back to when I had the art gallery because everything, the art gallery was in Pomona and their art shows are on second Saturdays. So second Saturdays every month was booked. I'm done. I can't do anything those second Saturdays to the point where we rescheduled our honeymoon.
Oh,
we got married and had to do the honeymoon a week later
Yeah.
because it's art walk. That's when that was my one day a month I make money. The day I proposed, and then, okay, hey, I gotta go to my gallery.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Was she always supportive of it? Or,
Oh,
yeah.
big time. Yeah.
That's
So
good.
Well, at least there was no surprises, right?
there was,
She knew,
no,
you
there's
know.
always surprises though. There's
She
always surprises. And then, that was a really hard lifestyle to have a family and a wife. And it was really crazy.
Yeah.
So when I got into doing this, I was like, oh, what are you going to do now? What's going to be but she's been supportive and it's been great. Everybody, I think it's a whole different world and everybody's really supportive.
Mhm.
Everybody has the same issues and we all know, oh, hey, we got to go. Like, oh, I got another shoot.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first like food like meetup that you guys
Oh,
had?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you remember that? Like the
Mhm.
foodies, where you guys all get together and started doing something?
Yeah, I would say there's two. Because the first one I was still doing like the photography and writing for. IE Shine On. And so I was just there to document foodies doing their things.
Yeah.
And they were going to feature, I think, my pictures in the publication. And then that's when I met my first foodies. And Mr. Biggs Menu, Danny.
in Fullerton? Which Mr. Biggs?
Mr. Biggs Menu.
What's
He's a
that?
foodie on Instagram.
Oh, okay. I was like the bar. I seem like an alcoholic.
No.
There's a bar in Fullerton called Biggs.
Oh,
Fun
go
fact.
check him out.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
So when I
Mr.
met
Biggs
Danny,
foodie, huh?
yeah, and I met some other guys, but he had, because I didn't know what all this was. Like,
Yeah.
oh, there's like, oh, come to a meetup. Like, what the heck's a meetup? So you just go and go to a restaurant. And there's a bunch of foodies there taking pictures and doing what they do. And
Yeah.
so I did it, and then I met a couple other foodies, and it turned into a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a trip.
So were you a foodie before that?
No.
You just got invited.
You just
to
went
it?
right out. You just went to
Because I
film.
because I
then-
went to film for an online magazine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I would do what they did, but it was for a magazine. I didn't know that there were people who did that.
Yeah.
And then when he invited me to another meetup as just a foodie, still didn't comprehend what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then so I went and took pictures. I made a video and posted it. Then I got invited to another place and kind of just ended up doing it.
And then you're like, I think I'm a foodie now.
No, it still took a while.
Yeah.
Because I was still in that whole, I'm still trying to feature artists and musicians.
Right.
And
No, I don't think you're ever gonna leave that. I think that's.
I hope not.
I think that's still in your mind as far as like I'm
in my
always.
mind,
I'm
That's
always
still
gonna
passion.
be featuring and showcasing people. At the same time, doing what you're loving to do, but that's gonna be. I don't think you're ever gonna escape that.
in my mind, no. But like we were talking about, is once you get stuck in a niche,
Yeah.
you're kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
So as much as once I became Life with Erns, it was supposed to be broader. The more, it's still food. Not that I mind, and I love food. And it wasn't. And it was just the when you meet chefs and cooks and restaurant owners, they talk with so much passion about what they're making
Yeah.
and the effect that they have on people, and they want to share. They're artists.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
They are. So that was like I'm still doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And then the selfish part is doing stuff like this and the networking and having, because when you work alone, I don't go to work. I don't have work friends. I have you guys that
Yeah.
I go meet and talk with. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that you went to go get like coffee with Gus and
yeah, I was like, oh, he hit me up. Hey, let's get coffee. Not that, oh, we're going to shoot something. No, you just want to have coffee.
well,
Like,
remember I
oh.
messaged you after I was like, can we get coffee? 'Cause
Yes.
sometimes it's just like I feel like my life is so consumed with work and work people. Sometimes I just need to get out of that, or like you're just like it's a music video every day, and then it's just like I need a break sometimes.
Yeah.
But-
It is like you don't have those work friends. If you're ever in an area, yeah, hit me up like Erns. I'm in the area, like let's get coffee. Cool. Or come by
Yeah.
or when it's safe. Yeah, come by the house, whatever.
Yeah.
See, I
Keep
can't
those
say
to
that.
yourself.
I know, it's like I'm gonna regret saying that, but
Well, you guys are like gurus when it comes to those social media apps and all that, like TikTok. You guys got Vine when Vine was around. You guys
Oh,
were all
yeah,
over that.
Vine.
Yeah, see, all these little apps are all like powerful tools if you use them right. So, but a lot of them are trends. Like I just said, I threw out Vine right now. Like
Yeah.
that thing came, it fucking
left
punched everybody in the
fast.
face, and as hard as that did that, it fucking took off. Right, it left.
Mhm.
But then TikTok comes around, same thing. You know, how do you adjust with all these trends? You know, like
You have to
when one of
follow
them comes, and then like obviously you use it. You know, it might be not your favorite thing to do, but you
No.
use it because it's there and you got to utilize it.
no, you jump on it when you see it. Like when TikTok came out, I jumped on it. I threw a few out there. Went okay, and then I just lost interest. And then recently, somebody said, "No, you've got to be on there. You've just got to."
Yeah,
I'm the same way, but some of my videos hit and get like
Mhm.
a lot of views, and all my recent videos from last week have like 300 views, 1,000 views tops.
Nice, still good.
Yeah. No, but like some videos will get like 100. So for me, I'm like, okay, well this one got so much, and then this one only got 300 views, and I'm like, okay.
Are you really trying to Are you trying to figure out what it is?
Well,
or
I'm
you're
getting
just still,
I was because I get paid now because of the views. I get paid based off of
So now
many
there's
views.
the-
The
so
incentive.
now there's an
Yeah,
incentive
exactly.
to
An
like to
incentive,
get
yeah.
more views.
Because
Yeah,
people have their actual they make their money now off of TikTok.
nice. That's the
Mhm.
same way with YouTube, where I was devoting so much into YouTube.
yeah,
I really
then-
want to get into YouTube.
And then they cut I was making money, and then they cut you had to have 1,000 subs to be monetized. And then I stopped making money, and I stopped posting. Like, all right, I'll just take everything to Facebook and Instagram. And then, no, I've got to have YouTube. I'm back on YouTube now,
Yeah.
and YouTube's come a long way in the past couple of years. So now you can upload the portrait size videos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, okay, so now I can just create for TikTok. all in one shot.
All in one.
We're all gonna get it, and then they're making it easier for creators to just post across all platforms.
Yeah.
You can share from TikTok straight to
See,
Instagram,
you're gonna have to teach me the YouTube thing because
and YouTube.
I'm too scared. I don't know how to do
And that's what
YouTube.
they all have their requirements because YouTube wants longer videos and they want their own sizes and resolutions. Everything's different. TikTok is 60 minutes or less, or 60 seconds or less, and then
you know what I can't figure out though is Instagram Reels. Instagram
just
Reels
TikTok.
give me a hard time.
Same thing as TikTok.
But I
That's
can't
what
edit
hear it
on
is.
Instagram Reels. Like I can't figure it out. And
I
Instagram
heard
Reels only gives me
Instagram
30
Reels
seconds.
like literally jacked TikTok's exact
pretty
formula.
much it's harder to use.
But it has a different algorithm too than TikTok is the other thing.
Oh yeah, and everybody's algorithm is different. So everything that everybody wants is different. So you have to adjust everything. The way you create, everything is different for each one. And I'm getting to the point where like I just don't care anymore. I'm just going to create this. And
That's how I am with my Reels. I don't really post Reels, but they say that brings up your algorithm or brings up your engagement on your Instagram if you're posting Reels every day because they want you to be posting Reels. So they're gonna bring more engagement to the people who are like following their Instagram Reels. So what do you suggest for people who are trying to grow their Instagram?
Oh, there's just so much. There's so much. I think like with any platform, it's just being consistent. And a lot of people stress over the quality, and especially if you're just starting out, and if you're in your prime right now, it's just keep cranking out content. Don't get so hung up on quality, especially for video creators that are investing all this money in their cameras and their gear. Don't dwell on a video just being so perfect because they're only going to see it for 24 hours. After that, because you're not scrolling back through my videos and watching. No, you're going to just watch the first couple and get bored and move on, or even those that I'm a fan of, I'll watch those first couple of videos. Oh yeah, that's cool. I'll just follow now to
Catch up on
watching. So just keep putting stuff out. You're gonna get better. The process is you're gonna get better at the process. But what's gonna happen is they're gonna change everything. Algorithms gonna change. The requirements are gonna change. They're gonna offer new features. Oh, now we have Reels. Like what the hell's just do. If they come out with new features, use them as much as you can. I don't follow my own advice, but everybody I see who does it, they do really well with it. Me, it comes down to a time factor because I don't have time to be making Reels, TikToks, and video creating it's hard. The editing is just, I feel stupid for going through so much trouble to make these videos because I can just do everything with my phone. I see some of the best people doing everything just on their phones, and it's like I hate you. I hated TikTok. It's like, oh, now all these people are just making these amazing videos with their phones, but not realizing like that's not what I do. I do these types of videos because I make money. The videos I make money from, how I pay my bills is from videos you'll never see. Or you'll never see my name on it. It might be for a company or a manufacturer or cosmetics, and like I made that video, but I'm not going to post it, or contractually I can't. So,
and do they find you for those jobs through just Instagram?
Yes.
Really?
So that's what I'm telling you. Post as much as you can. Just keep getting it out there.
It's like your resume.
It is
a portfolio.
I don't even have business cards. I have that little tappy thing on my phone, but yeah.
My Instagram
does that
is
work? That little
the Tappy Co, right?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I'm supposed to work with them soon
Contactless.
for a photo
I
shoot.
want the bracelet one.
Oh, they have a bracelet one?
Yeah, you can just tap the phone to a bracelet. And then,
Yeah, it's. Have you heard of it?
I've seen the commercials.
Yeah, so you just hit it and
it's so cheesy.
Yeah. Was it they're walking by and like, hey, well, here, and then they walks away.
That's a good pickup line. Just kidding.
Is it?
I don't know.
No,
I always
no
have
good
a hard
pickup
time with that
lines.
because it's like, what else are you getting from my phone? Like I know it says like you can get just the information they have just on that app, but there's always hackers everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So later on you got money missing in your bank account, or someone's posting
money in your bank account.
some dick pics, and
I forget to. I get paid in cash a lot. I get paid in cash a lot, so I forget to put money in my bank account all the time because a lot of my jobs are in cash.
What kind of jobs are you doing?
Modeling jobs.
Oh, okay.
But it's my thing is too. I had like money, and I was like thinking of buying a house soon with it, but it was considered dirty money because it wasn't marked in.
Yeah.
What kind of jobs are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. No. It's like you have to show the proof of income.
Yeah.
Especially with your LLC. And
Well, that's
doing
why
now.
even if I didn't start this whole new venture, I'm supposed to be creating an LLC for my Instagram for everything I was getting paid in cash to mark everything coming in and essentially write myself a paycheck to mark that money coming in.
Yeah.
So I never did it because I was lazy.
I know you have a big paycheck coming in with big old sponsorship from Northgate Market.
Yes, thank you.
What?
Northgate Gonzalez Market.
He's
So-
like, shop there.
huge sponsorship. You know, I know we were talking about this this weekend, and you're like, you know, something like that, getting a few more under my belt. I mean, you can be pretty much set. How does that work? Do you like a sponsorship where it comes into you? Like, does it just fall in your lap? Is that something that you reach out for?
This one, I think it was around the way. I had worked with another PR company that they hired to feature one of their store openings. And I think I just went in as a foodie or just to feature it on my page.
Mm-hmm.
And I had made a video because that's what I do. I made a video and it did, I think it did really well. And then I want to say they brought me in to feature some of their in-store stuff the video wasn't for the public. The video was for, I think, the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can use it on their website or
that they had
portfolio.
some, yeah. And then through that, Chavez PR, amazing PR company. I think he had some way, my name had gotten through to this other PR company that they were working with.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, there's Erns Valdez. I don't know how to ask how they found me.
Yeah.
But I already had established a relationship with them. But I don't know, they may have just found me because there's not a lot of Hispanic men cooking.
Mm.
That was the big, I think, the niche because they're a family market. They're really trying to find people that actually cook and shop and do all that.
Yeah.
And then when they've asked me like, oh, do you know any foodies that do what you do? And I'm like, oh yeah, I know a bunch. And I'm like, oh, I don't. There's not a lot of Hispanic men who cook. A lot of barbecuers, but not a lot of men who like really cook. A lot of family people, and then even there's a lot of mommy vloggers, but in the Hispanic community, there's not a lot of.
Well, my dad's a really good cook, so we grew up never being in the kitchen. And like my dad, it's funny because he say, "Oh, it's hard to find like men who cook."
Mm-hmm.
And my dad walks around Northgate for no reason. Well, not because of coronavirus, but they know him because a lot of the Northgate people were my customers because I used to work in Brea. And then I think their headquarters is like right by there.
Okay.
And they would tell me, they're like, oh, we saw your dad walking around Northgate because my dad goes to Northgate and walks around for no reason. Like just looks for things to make. He likes that stuff. And so I grew up never being allowed in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
And then like, if I did try and cook, like he's very like, oh, well, like this isn't very good. Or like, I don't know. I was intimidated to cook.
Yeah.
But recently, like last week, because work has been slow for me, and I just like want to get my head out of making drinks because I'm constantly thinking of like what drinks I can make next and stuff. Like I see a product, I try and think of a drink right away. So my mind's constantly running like that. And I started learning how to cook from TikTok. So last week I made beer battered shrimp tacos. Ooh. And then like with the homemade chipotle sauce, everything like the lettuce
TikTok?
salad. Yeah.
Oh, dang.
On TikTok. And then what else did I make? I made
I gotta
that.
up my TikTok game.
Yeah, man, there's so much you could do with that now.
But it's so hard. I try to do a cooking video on my TikTok, and it is so hard. So I give a lot of praise to the people who do it because you have to put step by step.
And you gotta squeeze a lot into 60 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, drinks are hard for me, but I figured out my trick, but it took me a long time. So I pre-record, and then I go into TikTok and speed up my recording.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do that. I like watching it. I hate doing it, but yeah. That's the one thing if for video creators who are trying to do these videos in 60 seconds. When you're creating a video, you're trying to capture like this such a great shot of me doing this, and like no, it's got to be 2 seconds, a second and a half, chop, squeeze, pour. Yeah,
like I love that whole beer pouring video you did of me, but it probably won't fit into TikTok. I'll have to speed it up. It won't be slow mo anymore. I think I cut it for 60 seconds.
Oh,
did you?
But I had to again. Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think I did.
I don't know. I haven't tried to put it in, but I don't know if it'll.
You might have because it was on Instagram. Wasn't it on Instagram?
Slow down. I'll do the time ramp.
Yeah, he did a really cool like slow mo.
Because it was on Instagram. I think that's 60 seconds.
Right? So I might have sped stuff up, or I just cut it for that. But I have more footage, and you're going to see more soon of her because there was a motorcycle shot.
I forgot about that.
Wait, did you take that one? Well, she was on.
Nobody's seen it yet. Oh
no, you posted one, bro.
I did take one. Oh, that was
Mr. Michelada posted a picture of me on it.
Yeah. But I have the actual video, the slow motion video of her, and then the pouring, and then I'm gonna mix them all, and then
nice.
I would really like for you to do a business one when it launches.
No, for sure. No, yeah, nice. Same thing. That's why I want to go with you and Gus, and
I really want to do a shoot with Gus. Though. Like we've been trying, it's been really hard, and Gus has a lot of sponsorships as well. I think too.
He's a busy man. He was in New York. He just went to New York to go.
I saw that.
Imagine that the Day of the Dead makeup, and she's on the Brooklyn Bridge with the.
That is awesome.
And then in the middle of winter too.
Damn.
But yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
his stuff
He's
is
a dope guy.
it's
Like, you need to meet
inspiring.
him. Well, maybe if I do a shoot with him, I'll ask you two to come along.
There you go.
no, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him, okay, can I?
Well, I need to
I
get
just
him
wanna
to
go
work with
watch.
me. I was like intimidated because like I never, I didn't want to ask him to like shoot me because like I don't really do that. And then he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, let me know if you ever want to shoot again." And I was like, "He wants to shoot
Oh.
me?"
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
Because
he
like
does
when
it.
I shot with him, I didn't do the Day of the Dead stuff. It was normal clothes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
he does those too.
Do you have a well, just to kind of wrap this up and tie this all together, do
Mhm.
have you done a 5-year plan as to where you want to be, where Life with Erns is headed to in 5 years, or just Erns Valdez?
No,
Are we gonna see a change?
I don't know. And that's just I like work like the Northgate thing. Like, oh, that was something that I liked. But a year ago, it was working for I was working for a school district in OC. Like, oh, this is what I like doing. It was really good. But no, it could change. But right now it's like, oh, if I can get a few more sponsorships like Northgate and maybe something else,
Yeah.
yeah, I could probably do that. But I don't know. I don't think there's any actual plan. It's just to keep moving forward. Because there's something that's always going to come up. If it's
Yeah.
TikTok or if it's another business opportunity, I might end up finding a job that, yeah, I think I'm going to go work at this place. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Creatively, no, I know exactly where I want to be, the type of videos, because I could go on and make films. I could totally do it.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want to make film. I know what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
I know what my goals aren't. So that, to me, that's just always been the, they say, oh, dream big. And like, no, I like,
You're happy where you're at right now.
I'm
You're
at where I'm
good.
at, but I'm always willing to expand
Yeah.
and follow the trends. And it's all about enjoying what I'm doing. Because I think I spent so many years working for so many different people,
Yeah.
making other people's dreams come true. And now this is it. I'm a dad, and I just want to get paid to do what I do.
What you
Yeah.
love.
What you love to
Mhm.
do. Yeah.
And that's to do nothing. Stay home, cook, hang out with people.
Drink scotch in
It's
the
funny.
middle of the
People
day.
probably think you do nothing too. It's like they're like, oh, he's just having fun at home. You're like, no, I'm getting paid.
Oh, yeah. It comes
Because
and
they
goes.
don't see that editing behind and
No,
all
it
this
never
stuff.
ends. No, because when I go shoot, then it's hours of me going home. I got to dump files. Everything's got to be done. Yeah, there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes. It's never ending.
Yeah.
It's just the mechanic, like you setting all this stuff up. You got to break it all back down.
Yeah.
The editing, the paper. There's paperwork. There's contracts. There's emails. It's never ending.
Yeah. But it's fun, and that's why we do it.
Oh
Right?
my gosh, it is amazing.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's as stressful as it can be, as nerve wracking. No, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
The payoff to watch people grow, and because it's never like it's the short term thing. It's always like long term of how you meet people. It's always watching other people grow. You're growing, but but like it's Life with Erns. It's all these people around me, the world around me as it moves.
Yeah.
So
When you were driving down here from Fresno, did you expect this at all? Did you foresee any of this, or were you just like, let this happen?
Yeah, I had some forethought of what I wanted to do, the opportunities that I could have taken. I had some plans to do some things, and it came down to like what came up first. So do I get the job first? Am I going back to school? I was going to go back to school and get my finish up my aircraft mechanics license, and then decided like, no, I didn't get a job with the state again. And then that turned into something else. Like, okay, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
This is going to be my thing. And then like the art kind of came into it, and like, okay. And like I said, I've always had 2 or 3 jobs at the same time. So I'm just going to do it all. I went to school full time, worked full time, then had the gallery. And then, yeah.
Damn.
Then I was bar backing at the Fox. That's where I met Elvis. Yeah. Then the art shows turned into club nights that turned into concerts. Yeah. So everything.
It's crazy because I hear his story. I'm like, dang, like I was the same exact way.
Yeah.
You know, like when you first met me, I was working 3 jobs, going to school, and
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where like,
Yeah.
this is I found it took me a while, and then to have to go from nothing again to where I want to be. Yeah. This is right now I'm living my 5-year plan. This is it.
Oh, nice.
And I've just
That's
reached.
amazing.
Yeah. I think I've reached my 5-year. So thinking of the next 5 years, I haven't thought of it yet. It just, let me just enjoy this part right here and see where this takes me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I would get to this part. This is like, oh, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
This is it.
Nice.
Being here with you guys is my dream come true.
It's funny because it's like I look up to you and I'm like, dang, like I want to be able to do what Erns does.
I
Like,
don't. It's not easy.
see, but other people see me and they're all like, I want to do what you want to do, what you do, and I'm all like, I was telling you guys, I have to be up at 7 tomorrow. Start actually probably 6 to do my hair and makeup and drive to my shoot tomorrow and be there by 9 a.m.
You're one of those few people who will keep doing it. That's like when I met you that first day, I was like, oh, she's a doer. She's like, holy cow. And I started
when
scrolling.
they saw me, I had come from another job, leaving to another. Yeah.
Yeah. You could right away, I saw her. You're like, oh, she's a hustler. You could tell right away. I was just like, I met so many different people along the way, and I'm like, she's just a grinder.
Those are the
It's
ones I
crazy because
surround
it's like
myself with.
everyone tells me that, and it's like I don't see that in myself.
Yeah.
And do people ever tell you that? And you're like, I don't think I'm that person.
No, I don't. Yeah. Because if you don't see me, like I take naps every day. I'm not as motivated as you think. But like when you tell me like, oh, I didn't want to reach out to him. Would he really do it? Like, I'm not that. Like, I'm not anybody. No. I don't see myself in the light that other people see.
But it's funny because we see you in that light.
That's probably what I want you to see because that's what I'm posting.
Yeah,
it's not. So doing stuff like this is cool. People can
open up a little bit. Get to see a little behind the scenes of
life
Erns.
with Erns. What it really is. And that's why I try to do on my Instagram too. Where like, oh, ask me anything or like ask me. Like
It sucks because I try and do those things and I can't do
That's
them.
like when you did it, I was like, oh, you're gonna get some,
I could imagine the kind of questions that she was getting that you didn't
I
want to
share.
share.
I don't know if you noticed I took it down. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like I can't. My Instagram's so geared towards modeling now. It's just I can't move away from it, unfortunately.
Yeah, you get stuck.
Well, that's why I created the Bartender Babe Instagram, but I don't. It's so hard running like multiple Instagrams.
Oh yeah.
As business, I'm sure.
And TikTok and
have your personal one if you have one, or and then my personal go from public to private, or I go back and forth with it. It's like, no, I don't want to show it, but then no, it's a hard thing to evolve with.
Yeah,
as we get to like you're saying, the technology and the tools and the
everything's adjusting.
Yeah,
you got to catch up. It's always a game of catch up. Once you learn one thing, you got to learn the other because it's coming up. It's gonna boot the other one out. But this has been fun, man. Getting to know a little bit more about you. It's been cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed having
me.
We'll definitely do a part 2.
Really?
Exactly. Oh yeah, man. I think there's so much that
there's so much more to
we
learn
only scratched the
about
surface. I think there's so much more that
I
we
did
can
a part
get into.
2.
You're only getting 10 years. We can't go 10 years prior, but no.
Well, that's where I'm gonna tap into later on. I'm gonna try to tap into the 10 years prior.
His face. Do you even want to talk about the 10 years prior?
And on that note, we're gonna end there. You guys, this has been a lot of fun. This is Fidel Avnanger. We're tapping out with Amaris and Erns Valdez.
Yeah.
Life with Erns, Amaris VEE.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Adios.
Hosted by Fidel. Tell it like it is, only tell it real. Live every Tuesday, you know the deal. We talking again. You now tuned in to the tap in. You now tuned in to the tap in. You now tuned in to the tap in. We talking again. Come on. We're live.